Well, hello, good evening, everybody. And as it said there, actually, what a season it's going to be. Well, what a season it's been already now. I sat at home and it suddenly dawned on me that I can't believe we're halfway through this season. In fact, we're not even halfway through. We're over halfway through this season already. So I thought, well, better time than now to have a little look back at what's happened so far. Now, I can't possibly do it by myself because that would be very boring indeed. So I've enlisted the help of the brilliant Emma Cross. Emma, how are you?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
Yes, very well, very well. Good. The magical Jon Moore. Jon, how are you?
Not so bad, Ian. Good evening.
Good evening. And, of course, the glamorous Kyla Birdseye. Kyla, how are you? Are you well?
I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic. Now, I don't know about you, Emma, but how quick is the season going already? It's unbelievable, isn't it?
6 rounds done, 4 rounds to go. We're over halfway through now. It's sad, really. It's going through far too quickly.
It is. I was actually thinking that, and that's the point of this, actually, just to kind of look back at what's happened so far across the 3 races that we've been to so far, the 3 tracks that we've been to. It goes so quick, doesn't it, Jon? It's almost just passed you by. I can't believe it already.
Yeah. You're desperate to start during Christmas, and then bang, the first race comes and goes, and then it comes thick and fast. It's been mad for me, May, Owen Park, and then the following weekend I did a 24-hour race, and then straight into Mallory. So I'm due a rest next couple of weekends, ready for Donny.
Well, I saw you actually at Silverstone.
Yeah.
You were doing the C1 race. How did that go, by the way?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, Kyla was there, so we come say hello on the Friday before qualifying. Yeah, what an experience that was. It was well worth doing, and I learned loads from it. Hence, I won the very next race. So yeah, it was very fruitful. And we did really well. We finished 24th. We qualified 52nd. So I thought it was brilliant for the team we had. Yeah,
certainly, absolutely. And I must admit, I didn't stay for 24 hours, so well done. I got out of there about 5:30 on a Saturday. I was gone. Yeah. Kyla, of course, what a season it's been so far. Donington up next. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I love that track.
Yeah, it's an absolute blinder, isn't it? But what we're going to have to do, though, is going to cast your mind back. Let's get in our little time travel capsule, shall we? And go back all the way to Brands Hatch. Now, who can remember? Jon, let's come to you first of all. Brands Hatch. Can you remember how it went for you?
Yeah. I remember sleeping on an angle because we were on the top car park. But race 1, I can't remember where I qualified, but reasonable start, and I got into a good position. I think it was 4th or 5th at one point. I had Richard behind me, and he really good race, me and Richard. And he's so quick, so I was really good that I could keep a gap. And then a couple of laps to go, I think Mark span right in the middle at the bottom of Paddock Hill, and then Les span into him, and I had a choice of right down the track. I thought Mark might come back on, so I thought I'll go for the gravel and gun it and get past them all, and then Les sort of pulled out in front of me, so it didn't go to plan, and I lost about 3 places, so I was a bit gutty. But yeah, I finished 5th, I think, first race. Second race, I can't remember.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we?
6th,
there you go, 6th place. Now, this was, of course, the first race at Branch after the restart, as we saw there. Tim Shooter taking the win, David James in 2nd, Richard Garrett in 3rd, Timothy Davis in 4th, let's start 5th. Jon, 6th, trying to get himself an extra place there, weren't you, Jon? Kyla, let's come to you to talk us through race 1 at Brands Hatch, if you can remember it.
That was a while ago. That's a hard one to remember.
It was a while ago. It was chaotic, though, wasn't it?
Busy. I just remember that weekend was absolutely freezing. It was so windy and cold. I just remember standing on the hill, like freezing. Polar opposite from
Well, I've got a picture actually of your car, obviously with David James there, and that is Brands Hatch, isn't it? As you can see, and Richard Garrett's car. You've all got your bonnets up there, so your cars weren't feeling the cold.
No, we were just getting ready for the races. So but it wasn't very. It was busy because we were with MG Cup again, but it was pretty calm and straightforward for me, if I remember rightly.
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a little reminder as to where you finished. 8th place, a pretty decent race, I have to say. Well, from everybody really. Unfortunately, Mark Eels and Phil Goodwin not quite getting, not being able to finish. But of course, Tim Shooter. I had so much fun writing headlines with you guys. I really do. It's so much fun writing the race reports. Let's come on to race 2 then, Jon and Kyla. And we're going to come to you shortly. I've got a couple of questions, special questions for you, Emma. So don't be too scared. Don't be too scared. Race 2. Let's have a little look at the results in race 2. Again, Tim Shooter picking up a pair of wins there. Let's, Jon, I'm just trying to find you, Jon.
7th.
There you are, 7th place. 7th place.
Yeah.
Just ahead of Kyla, actually. Look, just ahead of Kyla.
Yeah.
Let's talk us through race 2. Talk us through race 2.
I can't remember. I didn't really have the pace as race 1. I got the second fastest time race 1, and looking at the times on there, I was 2 seconds down. So I'm not sure what went on there. But I enjoyed the race. I was really enjoying it. But when I got in, I thought, Paul Ashton came over to me and says, "Why are you so slow?" And I thought, I don't think I had been slow, but obviously I had. Yeah. It was a nice, easy, steady race 2. Just a bit of fatigue after 2 qualifying and 2 races in one day. Yeah.
And sort of same for you as well, Kyla. Another 8th place finish.
Yeah. It was. I was pretty much on my own. It was just trying.
Is that quite nice though? Sometimes is that quite nice?
Sometimes it
probably
can
just
be.
take the time.
Yeah.
Learn the track. Learn the car.
Oh, definitely. It's always a learning curve with the cars, like with the different conditions and who you're battling with. But obviously, we're with MG Cup again, and probably I had them around me, but I can't remember. I just remember I finished.
Yeah, well,
and I was on my own.
Well, it's Brands Hatch Indy. You don't get much time to yourself. Certainly when you're sharing the grid. Of course, the MG Cup car's coming along as well. I imagine it's probably more chaotic than you remember. And Emma, I suppose from your point of view, organising everything, is Brands Hatch a good circuit for a coordinator to get everything sorted? Because for me, everything's a million miles away here in the outer paddock, and it's a bit of a pain, to be honest. What's it like for you?
Well, trying to get from the assembly area back through the inner paddock, under the tunnel, and back to the first corner while they're doing their out lap. It's. I had to use the car in the end. Normally I would bike, but I had to use the car in the end, just to stay a bit warmer as well. So yeah, it's quite a long trek back. Whereas other circuits between assembly area and I tried to get to the first corner are quite a short distance. So yeah.
Well, talking of that, actually, I want to just tell Jon and Kyla something. So Jon and Kyla was at Silverstone not so long back, and Emma was at Silverstone as well. It's the weekend you guys were at Mallory on the Sunday. Emma was there on the Saturday, and we were also doing some filming with the minis and the VCD8s and bits and bobs. And Emma could see us walking across the car park. It's a long old way, and it was hot, and it was baking hot. And Leon's got the camera, and he's lugging it across. Emma just drives past in the car. Oh, hey guys! Just drives off. Doesn't offer us a lift. Nothing.
Oh, you look like you were enjoying the walk. So I didn't want to interrupt you. I was just like, yeah, bye, have a nice walk and carry on. I was actually leaving to go straight on up to Mallory to be able to be there Saturday night for these guys to race on the Sunday. So yeah, I was trying to be my supportive self to everybody and watch as much racing of a weekend.
Absolutely, and of course, by the time and to be honest, I mean, I'm only joking. By the time we got to us, we were there anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to be kick off. Right. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Of course, rounds 3 and 4, we headed to Alton Park, didn't we? Now, who remembers Alton Park last year?
Yeah, a bit wet.
Looked a little bit like this, didn't it?
Yeah.
Torrential. It was a river.
I mean, I can't imagine what it was like to drive, and that was even further ago. I wouldn't have fancied it. Was it just like slipping, aquaplaning everywhere?
Yeah, it's moving. Yeah.
It was absolutely petrifying.
Yeah.
Now this year, it's slightly different, wasn't it? I mean, it's still quite cold though, wasn't it? I think we had little bits of rain here or there. And Kyla, let's come to you first. Talk us through your first race at Alton Park, because Alton Park was actually a pretty good weekend, wasn't it? Well, it started out as a good weekend anyway.
Well, I had a really good qualifying, and I qualified second in both races.
Yeah.
But then I had the inner CV joint go on my car on the first lap of race 1, so I retired on that one. And then,
yeah, but technically we'll call that second because that's where you qualified. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was just pure bad luck. I was absolutely devastated because it was just one of those things. I just couldn't help it.
Well, I do remember being on the podium gantry, and of course that's where we flew from at Alton Park, and you didn't come round after the first lap, and I was like, "Uh-oh, what's happened here?" And it's one of those things, though, isn't it? But of course, qualifying second, that was brilliant. That must have been a bit of a buzz.
Oh, definitely. I think I've surprised everyone, especially myself. I seem to be able to drive in the wet, but not in the dry. So I need to learn a bit more.
Well, I think you can still drive in the dry. I can certainly drive faster than I could ever drive in any conditions. John, let's come to you then. Let's sort of just pretend that Kyla's race went well, and let's go over to you, John. Right, so let's have a look at the race 1 results and ignore at the bottom. In fact, let me move that to Alton Park so you can actually see the rest of the results. There we go. And of course, Mark Eales got his wheels in motion, didn't he? And John, look at that, 5th place. There's your 5th place. It was at Alton Park, not at Brands Hatch. Talk us through your first race at Alton Park.
Alton Park qualifying was horrifically wet. And I think I was 8th on the grid, and I had a blinding start. And within a couple of laps, I got up to 3rd, and I held 3rd for most of the race until the last couple of laps. And Tony Howe was just too quick; he got past me. And then Phil, obviously my teammate, he come underneath me. I couldn't see him, so I just had to give him the line. We rounded the corner, and it was a checkered flag. I couldn't believe it. I went through every emotion. Go on, lad. To oh no, to I can't repeat what I said.
You can in about 17 minutes.
Yeah, if you watch my video, it's quite funny. The last lap, back me over. It's like, oh, but don't let him pass that checkered flag. So yeah, it's
I do remember you talked about Tony Howe being absolutely rapid. He was just absolutely on it, wasn't he? He was flying around.
I just couldn't hold that pace. It's not fair. He's getting loads faster than me, but not about that. He just let him pass when he come up to me, and that was it. Really, he just disappeared off into the distance. Yeah,
there was a not classified at the bottom, but don't worry about that. Let's move on to race 2, shall we, Kyla? Let's come to race 2. Here's the results from race 2. And there we go. Another 8th place. You do like an 8th place, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Does seem to be the case.
Well, number 8 isn't that a lucky number in China or something? For the China, it means infinity, doesn't it? The number 8. So
yeah.
I would take that as a very, very good sign. It was good, obviously, to get back out on track and get a full race under your belt at Alton Park after a cracking qualifying.
Oh, definitely. It was definitely I had a really good race, I think.
Yeah.
Is that race 2, Ian? Because I'm sure Timothy Davis' engine blew up.
Yeah. Hang on, Tim. Hang on. No, ignore me.
No, I was going to say.
There we go.
Yeah.
I had a battle with Pete as well. I thought I was like,
You actually, Kyla, I remember you having a great battle. It was with Chris Savory, wasn't it? Oh, and was it Pete Coleman as well? You having a fantastic ding dong with those guys. It was, wasn't it?
Fun. Yeah, because obviously we do our second race from our finishing positions from race 1. So I started at the back, and I had great fun with them guys. They definitely made me work for it, that's for sure.
Yes, cracking result. And of course, what I meant to say was, of course, John finishing in 8th place in that race, the Infinity symbol. John, there you go. And a couple of retirements. I mean, Dan Willis was flying again, was it? In fact, it was Dan who put it on pole originally, wasn't it? And then had his lap taken away from him, wasn't it? In total. But Mark Eales was really, really on the pace, wasn't he? And picked up a pair of wins. So coming into Mallory Park, of course, we had Tim, who took 2 race wins, and of course Mark, who had then taken 2 race wins. Now Mallory Park was a little bit different, wasn't it, John? What happened at Mallory Park?
Don't know. Just went out and never raced there. Never been there before. So qualifying, it was proper wacky races. It was so funny because you got all them old cars we were qualifying with, and I saw my lap time. I thought 57. I'm happy with that because I thought I know what they've done previously. 57 is okay. Yeah, and I think it was 7th or 8th qualifying. 7th, I think. Yeah, so I was happy with that, and then just went for it and then within 3 laps I was 4th, and then Les was in front of me, and then Mark and Dan did synchronised spinning, and I thought, crikey, Les is second, Les is first, and I'm second. So that was it. Then I was chasing Les down, and I just had him into Gerard's, and just kept going. And then a couple of laps later, Les blew his engine at the beginning of the S's, and I nearly spun, and Ben nearly spun behind me, and that was it. And I thought, right, we ain't got many laps to go. You can't overtake on the yellows because it was yellow flags, and they kept the yellows in. So it was just a case of managing the race. But then 2 laps to go, Ben was behind me and Mark was closing fast. And I just had to get the run in Gerard's because I knew if quick out of Gerard's, they couldn't get me in the S's, and I defended into the hairpin. And at the time, I was quite relaxed about it. And then watching the video back, I thought it was really very close, very, very close. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. First win, my camera didn't record the last 2 laps. I was a bit gutted. Yeah, I was over the moon I just didn't know what to make of the weekend. Just went into it to have fun, never raced there, and yeah, unbelievable. First win.
I've seen some footage of this actually. We spoke to Ben Williams last week, did a little show with him, because he had the onboard footage of his final. Yeah. I think he played his final 2 laps or something, and so we did capture you coming over the line, and it must have been a magical moment, Jon.
It was, yeah. There was a lot of expletives and fist pumpers. We've got probably a good job we didn't record, really.
Well, let's have a little look at race 1 results. I think we've definitely got the right ones. So let's just make sure we definitely have the right ones this time. Let's click on that. Is it up? I can't see it.
No, it's not.
I can't see the results.
It's gone.
Oh, did it come up? Did it come up? There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Magical Moore Masters at Mallory, as you can see. Mark Ilzo coming in 2nd place. Ben on his debut. That was incredible, wasn't it? 3rd place on his debut. Pretty impressive stuff. Kyla, again, another strong finish, 11th place. How was your race 1?
I really struggle with Mallory. I don't know why. I just don't get on with the track. I tried, but also I did have fun learning it, trying to improve my lap time and everything. But it was just sort of a losing battle. And then obviously there was also Phil Goodwin who blew up, and also Les. So there was a bit of oil around the track, and it got very, very slippy.
It's quite Emma, coming to your role with this. Mallory Park's quite an old school kind of track, isn't it? It is like stepping back like 40 or 50 years. Yeah. Does that make your job a bit harder?
I just think it's such a favourite with everybody. So to go there was really nice because everybody was so wanting to get on the track and have a grid place there. So it was nice to see lots of cars. Unfortunately, we lost a few in race 1, so that meant that our grid in race 2 was smaller, unfortunately. But yeah, and some new faces there too. Ben, Robbie Kennings. It was his first. So that was really nice to see some new ones on the grid too.
Yeah, it was only Rob Jessup's 2nd race meeting as well, wasn't it? So it's wonderful to see. Problem with Mallory Park is if you don't get there on time, they shut the track off. Like you have to go over the track to get into the middle of the circuit, and they closed the public footbridge.
They did. Yeah. So it was either you were out at 12:15 on the outside of the track, or you were there till the end of the day. So yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps they need to invest in a tunnel. Anyway, there's nothing I need to say. Let's go to race 2 anyway, because I've got the results for race 2. Let's hope that goes up. There we go. it was Mark Hills picking up his 3rd win of the season, as we can say. John, 5th place to get a 1st and a 5th. That's a pretty good weekend.
Yeah. First time I've done 2 trophies, so I was happy with that. But I was more gutted that I'd come 5th than me win when I was driving home, which is, I suppose, a racer's mentality. But yeah, a couple of days later, I was happy with the weekend.
Absolutely. And Kyla, looking like you were having a few good battles down there, 11th place again. It's just a great weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I had an absolute amazing second race with Pete. It was ridiculously hot, so it was polar opposite of Brands Hatch. But I tell you what, that race with Pete was absolutely amazing. I tried to keep him behind me as long as possible. I managed to succeed, but we got out of the car afterwards, and he came over and shook my hand and was like, "That was really good."
That's what I liked him.
We had a good laugh. It was hard. He definitely made me work, and that heat was hard. Even worse.
Yeah.
It was a hot weekend, wasn't it? I've actually got a nice couple of pictures of. I've just popped in the Mallory Park down a bit so I can show you a couple of nice images from Mallory Park. Just bear with me one moment. Emma, let's just come back to you because obviously we're heading to Donington Park next. Donington, as we know, a bit more into the 21st century than, shall we say, Mallory Park. It's a good facility. Not as far to walk, perhaps. It's still a bit of a walk from the assembly to the palace.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think I'll take my bike for that one, and I can whiz along on my bike and get to first corner.
I thought you had a scooter. Didn't you have a scooter?
No, I don't trust myself on a scooter, if I'm honest. Yeah, no. I need to finish the weekend in one piece. So yeah, bikes are all good with me, thank you.
Get yourself the push iron. That's what we like to do. Yeah. Let me show you a nice little picture here because I picked this one out. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Lovely little picture.
Great picture.
That's a nice picture.
Yeah.
Just managed to get them from just magical powers. A nice one of you as well, John. Look at that. This Mallory Park. I don't ask me when that was. I don't know if it was qualifying or race.
It's qualifying. I know because of wheels. It's qualifying.
And Kyla, there you go. Look, nice picture of you there as well behind the wheel. So we've got loads of these, by the way. So if you want them, I'll send them all over to you as well. So you've got a copy of them. Right, that is the season so far. So Jon Moore picking up a win, of course. Kyla, so far probably season highlight for you. That second place of qualifying, would you say?
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, John, the win at Mallory Park, I assume, is your highlight.
Yeah, so far.
And Emma, what's been your highlight? Not giving me a lift. Has that been your highlight so far?
Yeah, just seeing you walking across. Yeah, they've had no. Like, I feel really bad now.
No,
there's always cake. There's always cake available. So yeah, I'll make sure there's cake at Donington too.
I am Jess, of course. Now let's talk about Donington because here is what we have coming up for the Hickford Construction MG Metro Cup. We've been to Brands, as we can see. We've been to Alton. We've been to Mallory Park, and of course we've got Donington Park coming up the 17th and 18th of July. It's going to be a cracking weekend, isn't it? And of course we round the season out at Snetterton on the 300 circuit as well. So the bigger one. That's going to be a lot of fun. John, out of Donington and Snetterton, which do you prefer?
I don't know. I like them both. They're my two favourite tracks. Probably Snetterton edges it a little bit. I'm better on the fast tracks than the short ones. Yeah.
How about you, Kyla? Donington or Snetterton?
Yeah. Because it's on the 300, definitely Snetterton. But if it was on the 200, then it would be Donington.
Okay.
The internal part of Snetterton is just great fun. Absolutely brilliant.
It's great to watch you guys from Agostini up there as well. Up on the top of the hill. It's absolutely cracking up there. Emma, Donington or Snetterton for you? Which gets you both?
For a spectator's point of view, which I don't actually particularly like watching them race, but I think it'd have to be Snetterton up on the top of the hill because it's the most amount of track that you can see from anyone, from any one place apart from Brands. So yeah, it's a good spectator circuit.
Yeah, it is, and I believe we are going to have spectators, aren't we? Limited, but we are.
Yeah.
Spectators can still come in.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, both weekends will be fully live streamed, so you can watch it all as well. Jon, Kyla, Emma, thank you so much for your time this evening. I've had a lovely time reviewing what's happened so far in 2021, but of course, there's still a lot to happen yet. 2 rounds to go. Still got 4 races left. We're going to head off now. Going to let everybody go. Jon, thanks for your time. Kyla, thank you. Emma, thank you. And don't forget,
you're welcome. Take care.
The rest of the MG Metro Cup season live with us at My Supercar. This is how it's going to look. Good night.
Is everyone gone?